in 2 Corinthians chapter 1. Come on.
We don't want you in the dark, friends, about how hard it was when all this came down on us in Asia province. It was so bad we didn't think we were going to make it.
Yeah.
We felt like we'd been sent to death row, that it was all over for us.
Come on.
As it turned out, it was the best thing that could have happened. Instead of us trusting in our own strength or wits to get out of it, we were forced to trust God totally. Not a bad idea, since he's the God who raises the dead.
Good God of mercy. How many have been through something where you realize I have to trust God for this? There's no other way I'm going to come through it, God. I got to trust you. And you got to thank God for those times where he allows things to get to the point where you say, God, if you don't get me through this, I can't come through it. So that when he brings you out, you won't have any doubt on who you ought to be praising. I mean, you just got to get a hold of that. There are those of us that have folk that show up from our past. Oh Lord. It may not be a physical person. It may be a thought that comes to mind. And every time you get ready to move forward and do something great, something gets in your ear and says, yeah, but remember so-and-so and remember so-and-so, and you're not going to ever so-and-so. Let me tell you something. You need to start singing about the blood of Jesus. Because the blood of Jesus washes away all of our sin. And you need to be able to look at that thought or that person and say, no matter what I did, no matter who I did it with, and no matter who saw it, it's been washed away, and I will shout in your face. Oh, God. Woo, they don't want me to preach me. See, there are certain things that you and I have endured. There are certain things that maybe you still battle with, and you can't seem to get it to go away, and it keeps you on your knees. It keeps me on my knees that I can still remember the way I used to talk. It keeps me on my knees that I can get mad so quickly. Boy, I've known real people at church. Keeps me on my knees that I can be in church and remember a scene I saw in a movie I shouldn't have watched. I ain't got no real people, do I? But it is that kind of thing that God does not always take away. But when I let you know, hey, it's been a challenging week, or it's been a so-and-so, and you still see me praising God, and you still see me serving God, and you still see, then you realize his strength is being made perfect in my weakness. But they would get those great big, those big rap things, and then he would carry, for the first few days, he would carry that sheep with the broken leg on his chest. So that though it was hurting and whimpering, while it was healing, it would become addicted to the heartbeat of the shepherd. And there have been times in my life, and there have been times in your life, where God had to pick you up and break something in you because you had a tendency to wander. But he's so good. I said he's so good that he picks us up and puts us on his chest, so that while we're crying, we're learning to love him better. While we're crying, we're learning his heartbeat. And so when we finally get healed this time, we say, I won't ever wander again. I was in excruciating pain just at the blowing of the ceiling fan. And I'm so thankful for it. I took pictures every now and then. I pull them up and look at all the blisters on me and how I remember that pain. That pain kept me just as calm when I went through that 16 and a half hours of labor. I didn't squeeze. I didn't hurt nobody's hand. I didn't holler out because I'd already been through worse than that. See, some of the stuff you're mad about right now is going to be the thing that bless you later on. If you can keep your praise while you suffer on that level, then when God start moving, honey, it's a Fred Flintstone praise. It's a I can shout backwards kind of praise. Oh, God. I felt that. I feel preachy today, but I don't want to. But as I look back over my life, because of the amount of the water that came, it made them visible. Y'all not hearing what I'm saying? Some of the stuff that you said, God, I planned this and I planned this and I planned that, and it never happened. God let it rain long enough so you could see the potential potholes, the mines that were intended to blow you up. Sometimes God shuts the door because there's an enemy behind that door. Touch your neighbor and say, I need to mature. Let me give you this last thing. We're not preaching today. Suffering is something I want us to think through, so I'm trying to keep it. You see, after you've suffered a while. See, you and I have to understand that there is as much power in our failure as there is in our blessing. Oh, Lord. Listen, it's not just that he gave you this, he gave you that, but he gave it to you in spite of all the foolishness you've done. It's not just that he delivered you, but he delivered you after you promised him over and over and over. So when you get up to tell your testimony, tell the full thing. Tell it, if it had not been for the Lord, I'm sorry. If it had not been for the Lord that was on my side, all of the different times